sure.
Trying to manage the entire 2020.
For sure.
Thinking of some new products, new work. So yeah, I'm just
How you been balancing like the COVID-19?
I've really just been staying in the house.
For sure. Staying in the house?
And traveling here and there, but I've been avoiding it. I've been COVID free.
For sure. So like, tell the people like how you got your foot in the game. Like, where did Rasharie start? Like, what year did you start? Like, is there a specific story like about your big look like in the industry?
So I started taking photography seriously in October 2013. Just doing Polaroids. I didn't have a real camera.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything really. I was just going off of just iPhone and Polaroids, to be honest.
Sure.
And then, so that was October.
Yeah.
And so December, I knew that Kanye was on his Yeezus tour and he was coming to New Orleans. And so I followed one of the models who was one of his background dancers. She was on tour with them. And so I reached out to her and was like, hey, like, I know you'll be in New Orleans. I'm a fan of your work. I would love to, work with you while you're here. And so we linked up, we shot, and then she was like, are you going to go to the show later? And I was like, yeah, I already bought a ticket. And she was like, cool, like, once you come and the show's over, like, come with us backstage and all of that.
Networking goes a long way.
So I pretty much just, like, was just reaching out to people and was able to get some really good gigs from that. So reaching out has been a major role in getting started.
I always say networking goes a long way because it's so important. A lot of people be scared to reach out.
Absolutely.
Like, you won't know until you try. So I always say that. But that's very interesting though. Like I was going back and looking at your portfolio. You didn't shot like a Lady May. Like how did that come about? Like what year was that?
That was 2018. That was New York Fashion Week in September.
Hard. That's so hard.
So I was just shooting for another influencer, and then we ended up going to the same fashion show because she was going to be there too. So I just went up to her and was like, "Hey, can I get a photo?" Like, she was there. I was like, "Why not? Like, I'd be dumb to not do that."
So how did you approach it? A lot of people want to know, like, how do you approach people like that?
I just introduced myself. Always come from like a good energy and not be too aggressive because she can get her picture taken from anybody. Yes. And her own personal photographer was there filming her anyways, and she posted like my picture.
That's
so
fire. I seen it. Like,
that was like
that's a
fire.
huge look. Lady May is one of the finest stylists. If y'all guys don't know, like she's hard. Are you from New Orleans? Like you grew up in New Orleans?
Yes, I'm from the Fifth Ward area, which isn't too far.
Explain the wards because I know. Like how does the wards work? I know Jizzle from the 7th Ward. You're from the 5th Ward. How many wards are there?
There is 12 to 13. I may be mistaken, but
that's different.
I look at wards more like boroughs, kind of in New York. It's like different areas.
For sure.
Or like its own thing. But in New Orleans, it's like different areas really are like the same thing, but it's just separated by like where you're from. It's just like more of a representational thing.
Gotcha. That's different. I'm from Mississippi, so I wouldn't know. But like, just dive into like your Instagram. Like, first of all, how did New Orleans impact you as an artist? Like, how did that help you?
New Orleans impacted me crazy because after Hurricane Katrina, I moved back here in 2011, and I felt like a stranger to the city. Like, I wasn't here for high school and middle school, so I didn't get that New Orleans experience of that. So coming back here, I felt like I had to reintroduce myself to the city. Like I would just go downtown and just lurk and just look for things that inspire me. Like I was just so head first and still is. So I had to like reintroduce myself. I felt
for sure. Like what got you in photography? What even made you even start? Was it something you did from a child to like now, or is it just like?
I say the major thing that impacted me as far as photography was Tumblr.
Tumblr, I miss Tumblr. I hate that it's not even the same no more. Like
it is. Crazy. I mean, it's not the same at all.
Like I don't know, but just seeing Tumblr, is there any specific artist that stood out in the Tumblr days, or what was it about Tumblr?
I would just say more so like I would see people kind of make themselves an aesthetic and like just make nature look really good, and like I would just see people get these Canon cameras and I'm like, oh, I want
like
one.
The point and
like,
shoots or like the actual
digital
cameras.
To like film themselves with like this dope fit or like take a picture of the sunset. Like there's so many people who I would see on the platform, and it just made me appreciate just started photography, and I just kind of wanted to get started from there.
That's fire, man.
Yeah.
But about your Instagram, like, how hard is it to like stay relevant in today's like generation? Like, do you feel like you struggle with being relevant? Because I know certain people may post every day. Like, how do you balance your like post and like when to post, when not to post? Like,
yeah, I feel like there are people who are super into it and post every day, and they're trying to build that up, and I totally respect that. And for me, I haven't been like as consistent with posting, but lately I've been trying to just to see what that route would look like. So just really trying to stay consistent, figuring out what my platform appreciates. I'm still trying to figure that out as well.
Which is fine though, because it's not gonna come to you just like that. It's gonna happen over time. So
absolutely,
just keep grinding and like.
And people like different things. Like either it's a photo of me or like something fashion related or.
And you can't please everybody. You know what I'm saying? I may struggle sometimes like trying to please everybody, but like you gotta do what's on your heart and what's best for you. So.
And when I started my Instagram, I was just doing it for me. Like I just was like, I fuck with this picture. I'ma mess with this and like post it, and everything I really post, I do it for myself, and people just so happen to really like it. And just kind of been building it up from there.
So do you shoot digital or film? And if so, why? Why you take that route?
I started on film. I had to develop my own pictures, buy my own equipment.
You had a dark room? Or you knew somebody with one?
All that. Like I took a semester at
That's
Delgado.
That's hard.
For photography. So we had to do everything from scratch, like no digital, nothing. And then I finally moved into digital just because it was just more easier and convenient.
Yeah, it is. Sure.
And so, I prefer digital, but just for like studio stuff and all that. But I really, really love film no matter what.
Like what type of film? Like 35, 120?
I love 35, any like Kodak film. I want to get more into medium format.
Definitely.
That's definitely what I want to get more into.
I prefer Fujifilm. Like, you familiar with Fujifilm? Like, a lot of people may try to talk up and down on Fujifilm, but like colors are just natural. Like it's hard, in my opinion. That's what I like to use. But that's hard. Okay. Cut it, bro. I think we got some shit.